Good day, this is NS302 Environmental Health. I will be taking you through study section 7, Relationship of Occupation to Environmental Factors. When you have studied this section, you should be able to describe occupational safety and health. You should be able to explain workplace hazards. You should be able to outline the occupational hazard for nurses. You should be able to discuss the guides to avoiding safety hazard at workplace. Occupational Safety and Health, OSH, also commonly refers to as Occupational Health and Safety or Workplace Health and Safety, WHS, is an area concerned with the safety, health, and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. The goals of occupational safety and health programs include fostering a safe and healthy work environment. OSH, Occupational Safety and Health, may also protect co-workers, family members, employers, customers, and many others who might be affected by the workplace environment. Occupational safety and health can be important for moral, legal, and financial reasons. Good OSH practices can also reduce employee injury and illness-related costs, including medical care, sick leave, disability relief costs. As defined by the World Health Organization, WHO, occupational health deals with all aspects of health and safety in the workplace and has a strong focus on primary prevention of hazards. Occupational health is a multidisciplinary field of healthcare concerned with enabling an individual to undertake their occupation in the way that causes least harm to their health. Although work provides many economic and other benefits, a wide array of workplace hazards also prevent risk to the health and safety of people at work. These include, but are not limited to, number one, chemicals, biological agents, physical factors, adverse ergonomic conditions, allergens, and complex network or safety risk, and a broad range of psychosocial risk factors. Physical and mechanical hazards. Physical hazards are a common source of injuries in many industries. They are perhaps unavoidable in certain industries, such as construction and mining, but over time people have developed safety methods and procedures to manage the risk of physical danger in the workplace. Employment of children may pose special problems in such a place. Biological and chemical hazards. Biological hazards include microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, yeast, molds, and parasites. Some of these are pathogens or may produce toxins. A pathogenic organism causes disease and can vary in the degree of severity. Examples of biological hazards include Salmonella, E. coli, and Clostridium botulinum. Let's talk about physiological hazard. Employers in most countries have an obligation not only to protect the physical health of their employees, but also the psychological health. Therefore, as part of risk management framework, psychological or psychosocial hazard needs to be identified and controlled in the workplace. Psychosocial hazards are related to the way work is designed, organized, and managed, as well as the economic and social context of work and associated with psychiatric or psychological and of physical injury or illness. Let's continue as we learn occupational hazards for nurses. There are a myriad of occupational hazards in nursing profession. They cover a wide range of concerns. Being aware of the potential problems and seeking a reasonable and attainable solution is the key to creating a safer work environment. There are virtually endless occupational hazards for nurses in the workplace, regardless of their place of employment. They include, but are not limited to, number one, infectious diseases, needle stick injuries, back injury, latex allergy, radiation exposure, toxic chemical exposure. But let us first of all talk about infectious diseases. Nurses care for patients with contagious diseases. The exposure to such a variety of bacteria and germs predisposes a nurse to diseases like hepatitis B, HIV, and tuberculosis. Needle stick injuries. Accidental needle stick injuries are common in the healthcare industry. This occupational hazard exposes nurses and other healthcare providers to a myriad of blood-borne pathogens including hepatitis B and C or HIV. Back injury. Lifting, pulling, turning, and transporting patients predispose a nurse to a potential back injury. About 38% of the nursing workforce report back injury every year. Proper body mechanics and not lifting more than 51 pounds for average employee will help reduce the risk of back injury. Latex allergy. Latex gloves help to prevent disease transmission. These are roughly 8 to 10% of workers who demonstrate the latex allergy, which range from dermatitis, asthma to anaphylactic response. Vinyl gloves are an acceptable and commonly used replacement for latex glove. Let's talk about a guide to avoiding safety hazard at the workplace. Each profession brings with it a certain amount of risk, not in equal measure for every profession, but present nevertheless. An accountant, for example, is at far lesser risk of cutting himself on a knife than a chef, but headaches induced by a badly leaked computer screen will apply far more for the former. Offices contain numerous seemingly unobtrusive objects or collections of objects that can be potential safety hazards. It is the job of the employer to ensure that its workplace is safe for all employees. Getting injured can cost the employee valuable time at work. Depending on the nature of his injuries, it can also potentially limit the injured person's working abilities. It is just as crucial for employees to know potential safety hazards at work as it is for business owners. Employers are usually required to go in for workers' compensation insurance. This helps in rehabilitating employees who have been seriously injured at work. It also helps in recovering the wages lost and expenses incurred by hospital visits. Injuries compensable by workers' compensation insurance usually include conditions that are prerequisite for employment. Some as innocuous as a bad keyboard on a workstation can be cause for something as serious as carpal tunnel syndrome, which often leads to surgery and subsequent expenses. This is the end of our video lecture for this for NSC 302. I hope you have learned one or two things, and I hope that you will continue to learn more by repeating the video and by reading your material. Thanks for listening.